Hi everyone, brilliant to see so many people. I'm Ali, I have blonde hair, I'm wearing a yellow top, I'm wearing a rainbow necklace, and I am sitting in the Headway Arts Rainbow Room with some drawings and cards and things that people have sent, and I also have some lovely purple fairy lights which are shining behind me there. I have some slides, so I'm just about to put those on. So it is our 25th year of Headway Arts. So this is our 25th, maybe our 25th AGM. Just sorting my text out there. So we have an agenda here. We're going to run through, first of all, our year, then we're going to hear about our COVID response. And then we're going to have a financial overview from Pete O'Hara, who's our accountant. We're then going to have a performance of Over the Rainbow from our stars groups, and accompanied by Anth Purdy, who is going to play that on his guitar for us. And then we will have the business that needs to be done with the trustees, and then we will be finishing at 2. As Fran said, we'll be having a workshop with Beth, and then following on from that, Poppy will be running a drama workshop as well. So if anyone wants to go to those, just stay on. Just bear with me because I am going through my slides just to check that everything is there, and they are. This is our first AGM online, so do bear with me with the technical information. There you go. You can see that a little bit better there. I've managed to clear that. So first of all, we're going to see a review of our year, which is a film made by Jason Thompson, who's one of our associate artists and is a video maker. We have had a fantastic year, actually, considering where we are now. So we're going to just look at this film and we're going to see what we've been doing. So Kerry, if you could cue that film for us, that'd be great. At the end of that film, there was a massive list of partners, and that's what all our work is key. That's the key thing to all our work. It's about partnership working. All our projects are made with other people, with people, groups of people. And what we do is we work to include the most disadvantaged people in those processes. So the work that we did with the STARS groups feeds into all of our other projects, because the STARS are a series of workshops. At the moment, they are in drama, circus, visual arts, dance, and we're hoping to be putting music and adding music into those workshops very shortly. So the idea of those workshops is that they're an entry point for people, and people can come and try out, learn new skills, and then get involved in the other project work that we do. We specifically support learning disabled people through those groups, them being amongst the most vulnerable and marginalised in our communities. We work, however, across the whole community. So we work with lots of different people of all ages and backgrounds from all walks of life. And what we say is we offer opportunities for people to participate in the arts, and we offer equity to people who may struggle to participate. So we put in place ways and means of making those projects and making that participation equitable. So that means giving extra support to people who might need it to be included. So our community programme is very much at the moment based around our building, although we do work out in different places in the community. In that film, we ran workshops right across. You could see that we'd run workshops right across the county and in different places. So we went to schools, we went to heritage venues, we went to different groups, and we worked with partners locally, nationally and internationally to bring our work to the widest possible people and to make inclusion possible for the widest group of people. So through those wider projects, that means that people have opportunities that they might not otherwise have. For example, we travelled with some of our members to Portugal, to Poland on our real projects, providing opportunities for disabled people to be included in networks, training, and different opportunities that might not otherwise have been open to them. And also professionalising their work, so getting their work out to national cultural centres across Europe and having an opportunity to network and meet with other disabled artists and other learning disabled artists across Europe. We've been particularly developing the space at Headway Art Space with youth music initiatives. So we've been working with Set the Scene and Blythe, Live Music and Blythe to create events that are ticketed events which support themselves. So it's about supporting the local economy, and it's about bringing opportunities and acts and performers to Blythe and South East Northumberland who might not otherwise have been booked in different places. So we've been contributing to the nighttime economy in Blythe, which is something that we want to see more of. The whole of the town is looking forward to the new developments with the Future High Streets Fund and all the Blythe Town, My Town initiatives and everything that's becoming exciting opportunities for people. So we've arranged lots of different events over the year, and we've had some fantastic international recording artists come. But what we've also had is opportunities for our local young people and emerging bands to perform, to get their work seen, to become part of the bigger scene, and again an entry point to be able to professionalise their work and to get their work out there. So we've also provided recording rehearsal studios, and we've also provided sets where people could be recording their videos. So if you see Ant later on, Ant's recorded his recent video in our space. So there's lots of things like that happening. We've had over that year, we've had 3,015 visitors. We've counted them up. And we've also had lots of people from abroad. So we've had our EU projects, which has helped to raise the cultural profile of Northumberland across Europe. We've also had some internships with Northumberland University and Newcastle University. And we've also had our fantastic partnership with Blythe Tall Ship and Port of Blythe to organise events like the Welcoming Williams event, which celebrated the return of the vessel, the Williams 2, from its round Britain trip. So that's just a little run through. We always say that it's best to see the work, and even better to be involved and participate in the work and come and be part of the work. And so we want to meet new people. We want to hear from anyone who would be interested in being involved in the work. We have lots of different volunteering opportunities, and I'd like to thank our fantastic volunteers. We have another film because obviously we have a change to the way we've been working. Everything drastically changed for the whole world in March and earlier for other parts of the world, but particularly for us. And we were very sad to have to close our doors to our lovely space and to look at new ways of working. And at one point we weren't sure how we were going to be able to do that, but we were very quick to respond to the needs of particularly our STARS workshop participants and to our learning disabled community. We wanted to make sure that they were not left behind and that they were not further isolated and marginalised in the pandemic. And so we created a programme, and on the first Monday, we're very proud to say, the first Monday of lockdown, we were online with some of our guys. We then applied to Arts Council emergency funds and other funds to provide opportunities for people to be connected further. And in doing that, we were able to provide art boxes and other pieces of equipment so people could be connected. So we're going to look at a film that tells that story. So Kerry, is that film ready now? What it shows is the guys receiving their art boxes on the doorstep, and it also shows some of our work online. And I'd just like to thank, at this point, our fantastic team who have been winging it in this situation and who have responded to beginning to be on Zoom and having to change our working practices and learn as we go, which is exactly what we're doing at the moment in this situation. We've all done this, we've all had to learn, we've all had to begin with Zoom and work out what all the buttons are for and how we can mute and how we can unmute and how we can all take time to listen to each other and to connect with each other and to be patient with each other when we're all trying to work out what's going on. So thanks to our associate artists who have been delivering workshops online. So Beth and Poppy and Kerry and Fran and Paul and everyone who's contributed to those sessions and who have basically learned on their toes. So well done, everyone. I'd like to introduce Pete O'Hara, who is going to give us a financial overview. Are you okay there, Pete?
Right.
Hi, I'm just
Hi, everybody.
Hi there. I'm just going to load the screen share, so just give me 2 seconds.
Okay, shall I just introduce myself and
that would be
describe
brilliant.
myself while that's happening?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pete. I've got short grey hair, and today I'm in a dark blue polo shirt, proudly wearing my Headway 25 badge. For those of you who haven't met me before, I've worked with Headway for the last 6 years as their external accountant. And I also have a formal title in that I'm the independent examiner who looks at Headway's accounts each year and provides a report to say whether or not they fit with the requirements that are in place because of Headway being a company and a charity. So there's a few pages from the accounts on the presentation, and I'm just going to say a few quick words about them. Headway, like any other charity, is meant to work out how much money it should keep in reserve as a kind of contingency for a rainy day. And on the page you can see at the moment, that says that Headway would ideally like £40,000 to £50,000. By the 31st of March 2020, which is the period that these accounts are looking at, Headway had got to having £29,311. So there's still a little way to go to meet your target, but if you budget carefully over the next 2 to 3 years, the idea would be that you would reach that level so that you've got a little bit of a buffer against exactly the sort of unexpected situation that Headway finds itself in at the moment. Next slide, please. So this is essentially what you pay me for. This is my report. And the good news is that it says in a nutshell that the accounts show the true position of Headway and that my work hasn't uncovered anything worrying that I would need to talk to Headway's trustees about. So it's what you would call a clean report on the accounts, which is important because a lot of funders look at this when they're deciding whether or not they would like to give you some money. So this is what a charity's income and expenditure account looks like. So this summarizes the income that Headway's had in the year and the expenditure. Now, it doesn't give you an awful lot of detail, but there are other pages in the accounts which break down these figures. But the headlines are that last year, in 2019, Headway raised just under £215,000, and in the year to March 20, managed to raise nearly £274,000. So quite a considerable increase in attracting funding to fund more of the great activities. The bottom line for the year is divided between what's called unrestricted funds, which are Headway's own money that it's generated over the years, and restricted funds, which are other people's money that it's had from funders but hasn't spent yet. So the important thing is that Headway has some of its own money, that 29,000, as well as the money that it's already had but is going to spend in 2020, 21 and afterwards. Next page, please. The balance sheet is a little bit more technical, but it shows the total value of Headway at its year-end date. That's that figure of 107,000 or so. And it breaks it down into how it's divided within the charity. So there's 53,000 in the bank, 32,000 that owe that owe Headway money. 37,000 is tied up in all of the equipment, including the new kit that's been bought for the venue. And you owe other people 15,000. So that just shows how the overall picture was at that date of the 31st of March. Next slide, please. And then finally, this just gives you a little bit of an indication of all of the sources of funding that you've had in the year. So these show you some of the amounts from all the funders that you saw scrolling down at the end of the video that Ali showed earlier, and how much of that money is getting carried forward to be spent in 2021 and afterwards. So that's quite a quick run through the accounts, but I'm happy to take any questions anybody's got, either now or after the meeting.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Has anyone got any questions later on? We can put them in the chat also if anyone has any questions, and we can get back to people on questions as well. So thanks ever so much, Pete, for that.
Okay.
So our next item on the agenda is our outgoing board members. So we've had Colin Seckham and Ronnie Graham with us, and it is now time for their time with us to end. I believe Colin's going to go off on holiday. And Ronnie has a new post. So we would just like to say thank you for the service and for all of the support for both of you. We have a little something for you which will be in the post and will be winging its way to both of you. Obviously it's impossible to do that online. We've tried to do most things online, but we can't do that. So really thanks, a sincere thanks to both of you for the support. I think one of the things about being a trustee is people don't always realise that it's a voluntary role, that people give their time free. And so therefore that time is so much more precious. So thank you for everything. And on the other side of that is that we have a new member of the board. So we'd like to welcome Steve Bradley, who is from Wide Scope Design, as web designer, is also involved with lots of other organisations on boards and as a trustee, and has also been an actor. So Steve's got a wide range of skills that he's going to bring to the board, and he would like to welcome him today officially as a new trustee. I'd also like to take the opportunity to say thanks to all of our board. As I said before, our board is made up of volunteers, people who give their time and expertise to keep us on our toes and to make sure that everything is done, but also to really support the work and to champion our work in different arenas. And that's something that is really important, that we get the message and we get our mission and our vision for the work. I'd also like to thank all of our funders and our supporters. As I said before, on the end of the film, there's a big long list of everyone who's been involved, and that really, you are Headway Arts. You are what makes our work. Our work's about participation. Our work's about cultural contribution and making sure that people have opportunities to do that. And by coming together and working together, that's how we do that. So I'm going to now introduce Anth. I think, is Anth there, Kerry? Hi. So we've got no sound at the moment, so we need to unmute Anth. Yeah? Yeah. And I'm hoping that everyone else is ready. Does everyone get everything ready that they need? Okay, yeah. So when you're ready, Anth. Hey, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
That's great, and thanks ever so much. Lovely to see you.
You too, Alison. Can I log off now?
Yes.
Thank you. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye, thanks. Well, it was lovely seeing everyone's drawings and hearing Anth play and seeing you all participating and seeing all of the work, or some of the work, not all of the work, that people have been doing at home during our interactive workshops, and also work that people have been inspired to do and that we've been sharing over WhatsApp and in emails and messages and over Zoom in the times that we've been able to meet and see each other and speak to each other. So it's been a really lovely experience for all of us to be able to connect in this terrible time that everyone's been going through. So that brings us to the end, I believe, unless anyone has anything that I've missed or that they want to add to the agenda at all, Fran, or any of the board.
No, well, everybody seems happy because there's no messages in the chat. I assume that means everyone's happy.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. So well done, everyone, for being positive and keeping going and seeing this all as a creative challenge and just having a go at new things and trying out new experiences, because that's what it's all about. So we'd just like to finally finish with a message. Be well, stay safe, and we'll see you over the rainbow.